Good morning. So now that it's August, I don't really want to talk about school, but we'll talk about school. So there's like ways to prepare yourself that are not stress driven, that will set you up so that the stress can be less when the school year starts. So you have to find the practices that work for you, but I'm going to tell you some of the things that I make sure are done in August that work for me. So I have 3 children. I'm going to make sure that I have all of their school supplies. Um, get those ready, get the backpacks ready. I don't want that scramble at the end of the summer. So when there's a slow day at the house or it's a rainy day or something where I'm tempted to like do a load of laundry or the dishes or something that's like a typical cleanup thing, I'll wait and I'll do the like let me fill the backpacks. Even though I don't really want to think about it, I actually find the earlier I do it, the less it stresses me out. Because if it's like right before school starts, I'm already stressed about school starting. And then the backpack like compounds that. So I try to do those earlier in the month so that I can have them packed and full and ready. Um, in fact, my soon to be 9-year old's birthday is like, it's August 25th. So it's right before school starts. And I might actually like, I've got her a backpack as part of her birthday gift. I might actually like pack it with all the supplies before I wrap it. And then I won't even have to think about it. Because if I have to wait till after August 25th, oh my God, that's going to stress me out. So that's one. I make sure that like my kids' backpacks, the lunch boxes, all that stuff is like ready to go. So another thing I do, and I actually do this even before August, I tend to do this in June when the school year is wrapping up. But if you haven't done it yet, it's great to whatever kind of calendar you use. If it's a digital calendar, awesome. I use a digital calendar, but I actually like to see the calendar like on a paper. So I have a small calendar that I carry around with me and I fill that in with all of the events that are already published on the school I work's in website, especially the days off and the school that they go to because it's not the same district. So I recognize the dates that they have off and I don't, so I can start to plan like who's going to watch my kids or do I have to take the day off for that. It'll also give me an advance notice on certain other things that maybe like are important to my calendar. If you're somebody who hosts a certain event or something, you can start to like actually visualize where those fall in the school year. I also tend to put things like the progress reports and the report card dates in that calendar so that I can start to see them. It also gives me a place to put, you make doctor's appointments typically 3 months in advance. So it gives me somewhere to write those types of things, and I can kind of see what my year looks like. So the backpacks, schedule. I also, and you don't have to do this, but at the end of the school year, I redo all of my classroom boards, and they do change people's classrooms. But I always look at it as like, if they change my classroom, I'll do it again. Like it's not hard to put up the paper in June when you're already in the building anyway. It's annoying to do it in August when you have to go up and maybe even do it by yourself. So at the very end of the school year, I make sure to give my classroom the refresh. I take everything down. I don't put up the stuff that's like decorative, but I do make sure that there's clean paper on there. So when I go in, because I do go in August and set up, I know some people wait till the day before school starts. It's all really your prerogative. If you want to extend your summer and not face the fact that you're going back, I totally get it. But I make it like a ritual. So every year I take my 3 kids. They love it because it's like the one day that they really get to go to my classroom. I also set up the classroom in a way that like I spend a lot of time in there. I want it to be someplace that I want to be, that I can find peace, that my students can find some like de-stressing kind of an atmosphere. So I have like 20 houseplants. It's a little excessive. The district is patient with me with the houseplants. None of them have pollen. They're all tubers, so none of them are going to like activate kids' allergies or anything like that. It's things like aloe and snake plants that actually purify the air and bring up the air quality in the room. But I'm not going to have a student who has like a pollen allergy have a problem with any of my plants because none of them are none of them reproduce that way. Like they all reproduce through their roots. So there should be no allergies to any of the plants in my room. I also don't have cactuses, because I don't want a kid to make a bad decision and touch a cactus. And then all of a sudden now I've got a problem because they've got like cactus pieces in their hands and I'm getting talked to for the plants in my room. So I pick the plants with intention, but I bring them all home for the summer because they need to be watered like every 10 days. And I don't want to have to go to school to do it. So I'd rather just bring them home over like a series of a week. I bring a couple home every day and they're inside my house right now, just loving life. So the day I go back up with my daughters, we bring all the plants. We actually bring like our beach cart so that I don't have to go back and forth to the car 50 times. And we fill the beach cart with plants maybe twice and we bring them all in. They go in the windows. I make sure that they're watered, they're happy. Before I go back, I'll probably like repot some of them so that they can flourish more this year and grow a little bit. We'll see if I make the time for myself to do that. I tend to try and do that in the beginning of the summer so that I don't have to think about that in August, but I didn't do that this year. So last year I repotted all of them. This year I think I'll just look and like assess which ones maybe need that little bit of love. So those are the couple of things. There's not a lot else that I do to prepare for the year. We use Google Classroom in my school, but they don't publish those. They're linked to eSchool, so I can't make my own. So those I have to pretty much wait until the district puts them out. So once those are up, but that's usually like right before school starts, I'll do things like put my syllabus on there, put some of those first start of the year, like survey questions that you have for families. But at the end of the day, it's more about my mental process. I could just as easily bring the plants up the first week of school. I could do the paper on the day of superintendent's conference. I just don't want those things hanging over me when the school year starts. So these are some of the things I do during the summer. As these series go on, I'm going to share with you some of the things I do to like women in general, and sorry men, you guys have it too, but mothers tend to carry like a heavier mental load of those day-to-day, like I need milk, we're running out of toilet paper, my kid has a dentist appointment tomorrow, I've got to make sure that I get my children to this activity and that activity after school, but also still get to Target to pick up that toilet paper I was talking about. So because we carry that mental load during the school year of like all the other things in our life, and even if you don't have children, you know what I'm talking about. It's like all the stupid stuff. I like to write lists, and that's why I like a paper calendar too, because as things go on, I can continue to visualize where those things fall. Like maybe it's a CSE meeting or an annual review or an appointment that I have, and make sure that I'm prepared. And then if I need to take a day off, I have an idea of like, all right, how many more lessons is that going to be, so I can figure out what's appropriate sub work. So I'm going to give you some of the tips and techniques that I use to unload some of that mental weight without ignoring it. Right? We don't have to keep it here constantly. You can have techniques and strategies that allow you to like put it somewhere else and then check that and make sure that you're like on point, but not be like having that background processing going on, because that's going to take up brain processing space that you could use for other things, even if it's just things that are making you more zen. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great month of August as it starts, and I'll see you soon.